want get stabbed in the chest or stabbed in the head? There's your choice. That's the choices that we're presented with.
Hi, we're in Walthamstow Central. We're asking Londoners for their opinion on Sadiq Khan. What do you think of Sadiq Khan?
I think Sadiq Khan came in on a good ticket at the time, but he's baited and switched us, basically. The manipulation of traffic to then bring in underhandedly ULEZ.
Specifically with regards to the ULEZ charge, Most Londoners that we've spoken to seem fairly appalled at the scheme, the 200 million that it costs, and the underhand nature, as you refer to it, under the guise, I presume you're talking about climate change and we've got to save the planet by restricting access to London.
Well, it was brought in under the auspices that we needed to lower emissions, which is that's not a bad thing. But when you deliberately manipulate traffic and shut off roads so that you're causing increased emissions, then to justify bringing it in, that's underhanded. And it was apparent when you saw what was going on in Hackney, and it was even more apparent when you saw what was going on in Waltham Forest. So there is no sense in closing off a lot of the roads that were ostensibly called rat runs, to then force people onto a single road and then change the timing on the traffic lights. So that instead of 3 cars going through, rather than maybe 8 or 9 cars going through, only 3 cars going through on an already busy road, that then you have traffic build-up, which of course will increase emissions. They then wave around their little measure saying, look, emissions have gone up. Well, of course they have. You've caused this to justify bringing it in. And all it is that they have TfL money that they're trying to then bring in to pedestrianise part of this borough, which absolutely does not need pedestrianising, but it's because they're after TfL money. And don't forget, TfL are offering boroughs money to pedestrianise so that then people are then forced onto the TfL network. So again, you have this sort of hand-in-hand symbiotic relationship going on between boroughs and other governmental, or rather other bodies. Let's not call TfL a government borough because I don't know that. But what I do know, having seen some paperwork, that they're offering money to pedestrianise, to force people on. So now you have new builds going on in this borough that people are not allowed to own a vehicle.
Let's change tactic on this. Do you think traffic under ULEZ, from its initial zone to the expansion of the M25, do you think traffic in London is reduced? Do you think congestion is reduced?
No, absolutely not.
And why on earth would it? Because people are still going to travel into the city.
I had a perfect example. I spoke with somebody earlier today who was forced to go into London just because he needed to go. £17. And that's not including congestion charge. He didn't even go into the centre where, all this congestion is fabled. It's not even there. It's literally just money making. And you're looking to rob car holders.
People in a cost of living crisis, let's call it what it is. Is it a tax?
A tax is an unfair, unjustified, unmitigated failure that has been parachuted in, and we have no choice. The surveys that they send around, these consultations, effectively is, rather than do you want ULEZ, if we change it slightly, it's a matter of do you want get stabbed in the chest or stabbed in the head? There's your choice. That's the choices that we're presented with, rather than a fair questionnaire, which obviously would not go in their favour, and therefore they wouldn't be able to justify whatever money they're trying to get from wherever.
No, it has to be forced upon you.
Forced upon you, and then implemented in such an unfair way so that then they parachute in yet more policy. For example, permit parking. Did you know first vehicle can cost £100? Your second vehicle will cost you £4. I think we know where we're going on the third vehicle.
Sadiq Khan, thumbs up or thumbs down?
Thumbs down.
Do I have your consent for the interview?
You have my consent.